Self-worth is about what you feel worthy of being, having, and doing. Okay? It's about what you will allow yourself to be, do, and have. I'm Su Patel, and I am all about helping people with self-worth, abundance, and joy. There are so many people out there who want to live into their dreams, but very few are actually willing to do the work to make it happen. So I'm all about helping those people become unstuck, get the freedom to really live into their greatness. Please connect with me on Instagram, where I will share some more tips and tricks on how to develop a higher level of self-worth, more abundance, and more joy. Basically, your self-worth is in direct relation to your self-image. So if you feel you're somebody who can earn 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, if you feel your self-image is at that level, then you will feel worthy of that, of making that money, so of earning 100 or 200,000. If your self-image is of somebody who earns 30,000 or 40,000, then you will only ever allow yourself to earn that much. Okay, so it's all around what you feel you will allow yourself to be, do, and have. We all need to be mindful of self-worth, because if you have dreams, you have goals of achieving a higher level of success, you must develop a higher level of self-worth so that you can become worthy internally of the money, the materials, things that you want, whether it's the house, the car, the job, whatever that is. You've got to create that higher level of being to then experience what you want externally. So you've got to grow internally your level of self-worth to then experience externally that level of living, that level of environment or success that you want to create. Okay, now the lower your self-worth, the lower your self-worth, you're gonna feel stuck. Because we all want more, right? We all want to be, do, and have more. But actually internally in our subconscious, within ourselves, our self-worth is at a lower level. We're only allowing ourselves to earn, you will only ever earn what you believe yourself to earn now. Okay? Until you develop the image or the identity of someone who can be, do, and have more, you will only ever earn at a level of where you're at. So let me just give you an example. For 27 years, I worked in corporate, and I thought I was killing it, right? I was earning, 55 to 60,000 a year in my corporate role, and I was like, this is amazing. I felt so on top of my game. But that was my cap. Right? That was my cap. I only ever allowed myself to earn that because I thought that was the bees and knees of life. Okay, this is where I'm comfortable, where I've got everything I need, and I've got the standard of living that I wanted. Until I was made redundant from my job in 2016, and suddenly actually I felt I'd lost my job, I lost connections to my team. I literally became so isolated, and actually I remember even telling myself I'm worth nothing now because I don't have a job, I don't have an income, I don't have people around me, and I felt very unworthy, I felt worthless. Okay, so I defined myself from what I was earning, what I had, and all of that. Now, I'm not saying that if you have 100,000 pounds in your account, you'll be worth more, you have a higher level of self-worth. What I'm saying to you is that self-worth comes from within you. You create, who am I? And it's not just from the money that you earn, it's also from what contribution am I making? Who am I as a mother? Who am I as a friend? Who am I as a colleague? Who am I as a wife? Who am I as a daughter? All right, and it's really looking at yourself in terms of the contribution. So many of us downplay who we are in life, right? So that's one aspect of your level of self-worth, is just who you're creating yourself to be inside out. The other level is, when you're talking about your income, which is what I was alluding to earlier, is that you will only ever earn what you feel worthy of earning. Okay, so when I became redundant from my job and I lost my connections and the people, and I became worthless in my mind, all right? But actually, I started to see that I had put a limit on what I could earn and what I could experience in life. I wasn't experiencing, 3 or 4 holidays a year. I wasn't experiencing living in a beautiful apartment. I wasn't experiencing, being able to go on first class flights. I wasn't experiencing that higher level of, just those experiences that bring me joy, like those joyful things that I wanted to. In fact, I even remember not allowing myself to go and have a manicure or pedicure because I didn't need it, right? I was like, well, why do I want to waste money on that? I don't need it. But actually, if I asked myself if I wanted that, I'd be like, yeah. So there's a difference between what you need and what you want. We don't need a lot of things that we have in life, but actually it's allowing yourself to want it that makes the difference. And then it's not just about wanting it, it's about you really creating that. If I want that, I can have it. When you experience wanting something and then having it, you start to create a belief in yourself that you are somebody who can have that thing that you want. Okay, and when you start doing that and you start practicing that on another level, you will see how you will start taking your life into all kinds of directions and becoming limitless in what you earn, the kind of people you hang around with, what you have in your physical environment, but also how you're being and who the people that you're attracting and what you're attracting in your life. To raise your level of self-worth, first of all, you've got to ask yourself, what is it that you want in your life? So many of us don't actually know what we want, all right? Ask yourself, what is it that you want? What kind of things do you want to experience, okay? Once you've decided that and you're really clear on the things that you want, you've now got to create yourself, imagine yourself already having that, all right? So some of the things that I did was I started to tell myself, of course I can have a manicure and a pedicure every week or every 2 weeks or whenever I wanted it. Of course I'm somebody who can earn £10,000 a month. Of course I'm somebody who can go and experience going on a first class flight. Okay, I started to really create, that's a done deal. I started to visualize, started to create that, a way of being, a sense of entitlement. But I want to say as a sense of entitlement, not in a way where you become arrogant about it, but actually, I don't know about you, but I've pretty much grown up being very shy, not being very confident, not being able to really be self-expressed. And so I always played my life down, and I never allowed myself to want the things that I wanted. We feel guilty about wanting things because we feel like there's so many other people out there who are very poor or they don't have the lifestyle that they want. So then we feel guilty for wanting something more. I remember, hearing from, aunties and people in my family, older ladies, who again, they had their level of self-worth, right? Which they then passed on to me. Why do you need to waste money on getting your nails done or when there's so many more important things that you could be spending your money on, saving or putting towards the house? Or yes, those things are important, right? But also you got to remember that you've got to do things that bring you joy and make you feel good. You've got to feel good in life. What's the point of saving for 10 years down the line if you're feeling miserable right now, right? Self-worth is all about allowing yourself to be joyful. I create a list of things that bring me joy and I make sure that I do most of those things every day. Okay, definitely throughout the week, I'm very mindful of the things that bring me joy. And self-worth is about that, is doing things that bring you joy, doing things that make you smile, doing things that just feel at ease and simple. Now, you can bring this into your space in so many different levels. I started to, when I became self-employed, I started to work for different companies. And actually some of those jobs became not very joyful. Okay, but the money was good, right? The money was good, but the work was not very joyful. And I had to make a call on, do I want the money or do I want to be more joyful? And actually, the money wasn't worth sucking the life out of me. So I gave that work up, all right? And I started to create more opportunities for myself where I started to do work that was more joyful for me. So you got to really create what brings you joy and then be in joy and do those things. Okay, so let's just summarize. So to raise your level of self-worth is know what it is you want and tell yourself you want that and be unapologetic about that. Okay, number 2 is to really start creating and assuming that you already have it. And of course you're somebody who's going to have those experiences, but you've also got to be the person who can have those experiences. All right. And then 3, like really look at like, what are you doing that doesn't bring you joy? Okay. And start eliminating those things out of your life and doing more things that bring you joy. And the more you do things that bring you joy, the higher you will raise your self-worth. Okay. And yeah, just start living into that every single day. And again, going back to some of my previous videos, what I've shared with you, make sure you do your daily routines with your affirmations, being in appreciation for where you are now, to to invite more of that into your life. And then visualizations daily, meditation daily, and exercising daily, taking care of yourself is so important. Self-worth is 100% self-care and letting yourself or allowing yourself to take care of you and what you want in your life. So I hope you've got something out of what I've shared with you today. Please do leave your comments below. And as I said earlier, if you want to connect for more tips and tricks, connect with me on Instagram. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.